So we're going to go through a drill today that's going to focus on lead hip rotation. So being able to kind of turn into that lead hip. This is a drill and not an exercise. The difference between the two is we're not trying to develop a physical component, we're trying to develop more of a physical feeling that might transfer and help with some technical components in the golf swing. So as we can see, we've got a resistance band set up and attached to something stable. Taking in a golf posture and rotating back, so you're almost taking a little bit of tension off the band. We're then going to feel like we push and drive into that lead hip. As we can see specifically, there's a push into the lead heel and feeling like we're trying to create some force and pressure into that lead heel while turning the hip back quite aggressively, overcoming the resistance on the band and pulling with some effort and some kind of energy to create that force through the floor from almost either the right side push or the trail side push into that lead hip and heel. So if we do that quite explosively, probably 6 to 8 reps to create that feel and create that momentum. And as we're rotating the body around the lead hip, we want to feel like the band stays quite close to the body in the process. So if you're good at doing that kind of motion, you can get into the lead hip and you want a little bit more of an advanced progression, we can now move on to something called AP force production or anterior posterior force. So what we're looking for into the lead hip is a force production that's kind of pushing off the front of the toe into the heel that creates this rotation. So just do that again. So as we push down into the toe to then push backwards, so an opposite force, we can see how that lead foot pulls open and really rotates that lead hip. We see this in a lot of bigger hitters, especially the long drivers. It looks excessive, but then even in kind of like good players, we see a smaller version of that where that lead foot can sometimes sort of almost push back and spin open. So if we move that into the resistance band, so it's the same principle, same setup, and then again with maximum effort, we're just trying to create that push AP and vertical, so it's both pushing down and back. And we've got to do it quite aggressively to get that ground force, and we can see how that lead foot is moving and reacting accordingly.